Objective 12 says, describe transmission of single gene traits and chromosomal abnormalities. This is located in Chapter 8 in your current textbook. Chromosomal abnormalities are a major cause of reproductive loss, congenital problems, and gynecologic disorders. It occurs in about 0.5 to 1% of all newborns, 4 to 7% of all stillbirths, and 60% of spontaneous abortions or miscarriages. This is important to note because as a nurse, even though we know that over half of the spontaneous abortions and miscarriages that occur are a result from some sort of chromosomal abnormality, you need to show caring and compassion as a nurse and provide therapeutic communication and empathy to individuals experiencing these spontaneous abortions and miscarriages. A euploid cell is a cell with the correct number or normal number of chromosomes within the cell. A haploid cell is labeled 1N. These are our gametes, including sperm and eggs, and each one of these gametes contain 23 chromosomes. When the gametes join together, they form a diploid cell, which is known as 2N. Diploid cells are somatic or body cells, and they contain the number of chromosomes of equal to 46, and that's what we typically think as a normal cell, having 46 chromosomes. Autosomal abnormalities result from an unequal distribution of genetic material during gamete or egg or sperm formation. These autosomal abnormalities result from two types of incorrect number of chromosomes per cell, including polyploidy, where the abnormality has an exact multiple of the haploid number of chromosomes. Examples of this would be like triploid, which has 69 chromosomes, or a tetraploid, which has 92 chromosomes. Aneuploidy is the most commonly identified chromosomal abnormality. It's also the leading genetic cause of mental restriction or decreased mental ability. The abnormality is where there is not an exact multiple of the haploid chromosome. Examples of aneuploidy include monosomy, which the individual is missing one chromosome. So instead of having that normal number of 46, they only have 45 chromosomes in each cell. Trisomies is when the individual has an extra chromosome. So again, instead of having 46 chromosomes within the cell, they now have 47. The majority of trisomies occur during oogenesis, and this incident increases with advancing maternal age. Most trisomies are actually caused by non-disjunction, where there's one pair of chromosomes fail to separate, leaving one egg with two chromosomes and none of that chromosome in the other egg. The most common trisomy that we see is Down syndrome, and this is the trisomy of chromosome 21. There are some abnormalities of chromosome structure. Translocation is one of those. Translocation is where there's an exchange of chromosomal material between two chromosomes. This can result from the exposure to certain drugs, viruses, and radiation, or it can occur for no apparent reason at all. Deletions is another abnormality of chromosomal structure. With deletions, there's a loss of chromosomal material and a partial monosomy for the chromosome involved. An example of this would be Kreiderstedt syndrome. In Kreiderstedt syndrome, there is a deletion of the short arm of chromosome 5 and a deletion of the long arm of chromosome 18. Kreiderstedt is named after literally cry of the cat. Newborns that have Kreiderstedt syndrome actually sound like cats meowing when they cry. Inversions is another abnormality of chromosomal structure. Inversions may be where a portion of the chromosome is just rearranged in the reverse order. More than 40% of inversions involve chromosome number 9, and we believe they may be responsible for the problems with infertility and miscarriages when there's no other identifiable cause. Sex chromosome abnormalities. Many of these are caused by non-disjunction during gametogenesis. A common sex chromosome abnormality in females is Turner syndrome, where they have 45X. They are missing the second X chromosome. They are very specifically looked, have some very specific characteristics. Usually, again, well, they are female. These females usually have a webbed neck. They have lymphedema of their hands and feet. They usually are infertile. In males, they have Klinefelter syndrome, where they have XXY, so they have actually an extra X chromosome. The characteristics of men that have Klinefelter syndrome is they have poorly developed secondary sexual characteristics in small testicles. They're usually infertile, unusually tall. They have feminine characteristics, and they have a sparse body hair distribution. Multifactorial inheritance is inheritance of phenotypic characteristics resulting from 2 or more genes on different chromosomes acting together. This can result from a combination of both genetic and environmental factors. Some disease processes that are influenced by multifactorial inheritance include cleft lip, cleft palate, congenital heart disease, and neural tube defects. Unifactorial inheritance is the inheritance of phenotypic characteristics controlled by a single gene. And we're going to talk a lot about diseases that are chromosomal abnormalities that are resulting from unifactorial inheritance. The number of single gene disorders greatly exceeds the number of chromosomal abnormalities present.